Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. May 12th, 2023. It's Friday edition. It's about 7 o'clock. I just moved the cows into this field. We are really low on nitrogen this spring. I just noticed. I'm sitting on the four-wheeler, so if you hear it creaking, that's what it is. But I needed to grab a picture so fast I jumped my phone out. That spot where you see all those cows standing. So there's 25 mama cows in this group. There's 3, 6, 10 of them standing in a circle where we had a bale, not last winter, winter before. So that's the bale grazing area. We spread chicory, plantain, red clover, white clover, crimson clover. There ain't no crimson in there now, but orchard grass, shotgun mix in that bale. That one was bad. That one had really bad winter scarring. In fact, that one, I think that one even got some tractor tracks in it. That's rough to go over with the four-wheeler. But 10 cows walked through the gate up here by this house, walked straight down here and started grazing that bale scar out. That right there tells you the picture of bale grazing. That was sort of bare last spring, but not really. I mean, it wasn't the end of the world bare. And it was bare even up into the summer, but that's one of those spots that this spring when I was running around thinking about doing soil tests, that was the greenest and best looking grass we had. Now, would it take us forever to get that on every piece of ground here? It certainly would, but just speaks to the power of what we're doing with bale grazing. The other thing is, if we had this whole mob of cows on here and bale graze this, you can see the dark green spots. That's where the cow manure is. That's why I say we're low on nitrogen this spring. This would be pretty much covered with manure, so it wouldn't just be those bale spots. It would be everywhere. It would have got fertility. We're still worried about what the overgrazing of it, especially early in the spring, those last 2 weeks or first 2 weeks of April, or last 2 weeks of April, depending on when you turned out, is going to do. We got a field. I don't know whether I can pan over here, and you can look right above Mom and Dad's house. You can see that field where we bale grazed. It still has not recovered. It's not ready to graze yet. We'll see on the second rotation whether it is. It won't be ready with second rotation of the cows, I can tell you, but with the sheep it might, because they're late in their rotation. So that where the field next to it was the first field that the cows touched, and it won't be ready for that. So that's going to be the issue. We're gonna measure that in cow days. Although our cow days are going to reduce here because we're going to be weaning calves. Probably before we graze that, but it won't be. But we will reduce the cow numbers once we do graze it. So we'll have to calculate cow numbers. But anyway, just a good picture of what that does for us. I think there's one more bale scar up there. I think that's where that cow is with the new calf. And that was about the only places we fed in this particular paddock, but just kind of amazing. They all come right there, and they're going to overgraze that piece, but that's okay because it's full of red clover, so that'll help that clover release. So that's good. Other things to look at, I got to go get a water and put it right here in this spot. Other thing to look at on today's edition, brand new baby. That heifer is a 3-year-old. Unfortunately, she was in with the grass-fed steers, and I had a cow that needed to go, and she had a date, and the cow went instead. Was hoping she was bred, and obviously she was, because there's a calf. Now, I'll admit the mistake here. The mistake is that she was bred to her father. But that calf appears to only have 2 eyes. He doesn't have one in the middle of his forehead. Him or her, whatever it might be, appears to be nice and white and good Hereford color, and she's a great cow. I'm ecstatic that she calved. I'll be even more ecstatic when she calves next year and the year after, because she is a really good cow, really good heifer. Was a really good heifer, and obviously a good cow. She laid down and had a calf on her own. We didn't even know it was here until I moved the cows. She was late coming through the paddock last night, and I wondered why, because she wasn't really bagged up all that much. But obviously she was ready to have a calf, and that's okay. We don't want them to bag up all that much. Cows with big bags tend to get mastitis, and all we need is enough milk to feed them. And hopefully, usually those small bald udders like that, like she has, produce a lot of butter fat in their milk, and then produce a really good calf. And she obviously is out of a really good cow, produced a really good calf, really good heifer. I don't know what this calf's going to be. If it's a heifer, it might stay too. It doesn't scare me in the least that she is double bred with the bull. And I don't know, the bull's not here in the photo anywhere, but it does not scare me at all. It doesn't hurt my feelings. This big steer right here in front of us is one scheduled for July. He's out. No, I guess he's not out of that bull, but all the calves are, all the baby calves from last year are. Then of course the old cow walks up here. She's about 20 some years old and walks up here, but she keeps taking us to the pay window, so she stays. Just really cool to see the bale grazing, also to see the calf. I can always take the best videos on the night I don't have time. The sheep are up on top of that hill. They're lambing. They got a long way to go tonight to get to a paddock. In fact, I probably might do a video when I get up there. The cool thing about that is we grazed where they're going to. We've already grazed, but we're going to turn around and go the opposite direction. They didn't graze enough of it anyway, and because of the sheep lambing, we can't move them as far as we needed to move them. So we're only going to move them to the nearest available paddock to graze, and that flies against conventional wisdom. We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to move them to wherever next best grass is, but in this instance I can't move them that far because them little lambs can't chug that far. So maybe we'll take a video when we get up there, see that. With that, I'll say see you next time.